Hello everyone, my name is Robin, and in this video I'm going to talk about titles. Titles are very formal, so when we're talking to someone in the business world, we should use a title before their name. Now first I'm going to talk about titles for people we know or people we just met, and later I'm going to talk about titles for strangers. Let's take a look. Okay, I have 5 titles here, very common titles. Maybe you've already heard about them or know them. Let's take a look. The first one, MRS. MRS is pronounced Mrs., Mrs., and Mrs. is used only for married women, okay? So if her last name is Smith, I would call her Mrs. Smith, okay? She's a married woman. The next one is Miss, Miss. And Miss is used for single women, not married, okay? So Mrs. Smith, oh, I know she's married. Miss Smith, oh, she's single, okay? Again, both of them are only used for women. Mrs. and Miss are a little bit old style, okay? So we don't use those too much anymore. What we use nowadays is this one, MS. The MS is pronounced Ms. Ms. And we only use Ms. for women, but we don't know if they're married or single, okay? We're just using a title for women. So in the very formal situation and in business, this is what you should use. Ms. Ms. Smith, okay? Okay, so those are what we use for women. Over here we have Mr. And Mr. of course is used for all men. Doesn't matter if they're married, single, every man is Mr. Okay, so again, if his last name is Smith, Mr. Smith. And the last one, doctor. Of course, doctor we use for doctors. Doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man, all doctors we should call doctors before their name. So like Dr. Smith. Okay, so those are the titles. Again, for business, you only need to know this one, Ms., and this one, Mr. Any man is Mr., and every woman should be Ms. Let's take a look at my name. Okay, of course I'm a man, so we should use Mr. But Mr., we should use it in a formal way. So I wrote 3 styles here. One of them is wrong, okay, very wrong. Let's take a look. I have Mr. Robin Shaw, Mr. Robin, Mr. Shaw. Which one is wrong? Well, it is this one, Mr. Robin. Now, a lot of my students say, Mr. Robin, Mr. Robin, Mr. Robin. This is wrong, okay? You got to be very careful. Robin is my first name, okay? And in a formal situation, don't just use the first name with Mr. Okay, so this is wrong. You never want to say Mr. Robin. Mr. Robin Shaw. Okay, my first name is here, but actually the Mr. Shaw. Okay, this is a good way, very formal, Mr. Robin Shaw, or Mr. Shaw. Okay, use this style or this style, but never say this style. All right, let's take a look at an example. I invited 6 people to my party. I invited Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Ms. Jane Spark, Miss Kirkland, Mr. Scott, and Dr. Casting. I invited 6 people to my party. I invited Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Ms. Jane Spark, Miss Kirkland, Mr. Scott, and Dr. Casting. All right, now I'm going to talk about some titles or expressions to use when you're walking in public and you don't know someone, okay? You don't know their name, but you want to talk to them in a polite way, okay? Very formal way. And if you look here, you might say, excuse me. You want to get someone's attention. You say, excuse me. Okay, there's 4 main ways. This is for men. This is for women. So let's start with the men. So very simple. Excuse me, sir. Okay, very polite. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, mister. Excuse me, mister. This is the best one, but this one is also possible, okay, when you don't know their name. Excuse me, sir. Or may I help you, sir? Okay. The other two are for women. Now you can say, excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. This is usually for older women. Excuse me, ma'am. And excuse me, miss is for younger women. So probably under age 20. Okay, under age 20, we would probably say miss. So young women and even children, females, women. Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, miss. May I help you, ma'am? May I help you, miss? Okay, so all of these, very polite, and you should use them. All right, so that's titles. Titles for people we know, titles for people we don't know. If you want to speak in a polite way, you should always use titles. It shows a lot of respect, okay? That's it for this video. See you next time.